Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this file. It's a joint box. It's in the shape of a coffin, and they want to make it quite a bit bigger. They want to make it, this is 11.81 big, and also they're using 3-inch wood. So the only difference when you expand is this measurement right here. This is the thickness of your wood. When you expand it, this wood is going to change proportionally with all the parts. So we're going to do a little bit of measurements first. I am going to take the parallel dimension tool and I'm going to measure from there to there, and I get 0.12 inches, but if we change it to millimeters, it's 3 millimeters. So we know we're good there. I'm going to measure the other one just for reference and parallel dimension tool, and it is, I'm not going to stay with millimeters. It's almost 1/2 of an inch. And see, some of them are different. This joint is smaller. That's really it doesn't matter. But what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and leave 2 measurements on the screen when we do this. And I am going to go ahead and change this to millimeters. That's the only one that really matters. Now, for the person I'm doing it for, if you will grab it all, and instead of dragging this, because we want that to be about 17, I'm going to guess, I'm going to make it 148% bigger. My ratio is locked. So now my measurement is 17.5 inches. So I could have gone even less, but you could play around with that. Now, if you look, now we're at 0.69 inches and 4.4 millimeters. But all of them should be the same because we expanded it out the same. So if you look, that's 0.69, and our depth, now this doesn't cure the problem. It just lets you know. So we're 17, well, let's change it to millimeters. See, we're at 4.4 millimeters. Now, this would cut out and still fit. I mean, he's saying the other one was tight. The only thing that's going to change is your wood is going to stick out past. So if let's just draw that. Let's take a 2-point line and just draw this out. And let's make it red. And let's change our graphic to millimeters. And I am going to nudge it 3 millimeters. So I'm going to take my bar and I'm going to nudge it 3 millimeters. So your wood is going to be that long over past the other wood. So the other wood's going to lay in here. That's not really a big problem because if you're going to glue this together, you could sand that off and it would actually kind of look good because it gets rid of the burn. But that wasn't his question. His question is how he does it. Now, to make it 100% correct, there are 6 parts, but they're all equal. These 2 are equal to this one. And if you look at let's make sure they're equal. Yeah. See, these 2 are different because they got a little bit smaller tab, but this one and this one are the same. These 2 are the same and these 2 are the same. So to make life easy, and you wouldn't cut it out in this shape anyway, I'm going to get rid of 1/2 of them. And we're going to just move these off the screen for a second. Now, for this to work, these have to be straight up and down. And then you're going to leave them straight up and down because of the fact that you're going to save room for cutting. So we're going to go right there and we're going to go right there and start moving and draw a line. So that line is perpendicular to the, and you could do it by hand. Let's do the first one by hand. So I'm going to double click on it and get my rotation there, and then grab this corner and bring it down. So you could do it that way. So this one's ready. But let's do this one a little bit different. Let's take that same line, just kind of show you another tool, and let's put it up there and see this one is just tweaked a little bit. Let's see if this doesn't, that looks like it's a bigger angle than that. I might have to go straight up and down. So let's take a 2-point line, get right there, and hold down the control button after you start moving it. And yes, it's quite a bit different angle. So what we need to do is measure that angle. I just want to make sure I'm on the dot. And first of all, you need to change those to hairlines. We're going to take the angular dimension. The other way is probably faster. We're going to take the angular dimension tool and look, that is 8.32 degrees. So if we take our box, and we don't have to double click on it, and we're going to make it a negative 8.32 degrees. And see how it put it perpendicular to the line? So we only need to do one more. And this one, by chance, is already there. And because this is what you're going to cut out. So before we make copies of it, we're going to correct it. And by correcting it, we're going to take, and let's make a measurement. Let me zoom in here. Let's make a measurement. And see, we're at that 4.14. So we need to set our nudge factor now on 1.44 to make up the difference of the difference. So now take your shape tool, and you could, let me get rid of this for a second. You could do all one side at one time. It'll be a little bit easier on this one. This one, you're going to have to maybe do two at a time. But we're going to take our shape tool, and we're going to grab this, but we're going to grab those two nodes, hold down the shift key, grab those two nodes, hold down the shift key, and we're going to nudge them to the left at 1.44. So now if we take our parallel dimension tool, and it looks a little funny because of the fact that it's so much bigger but our joint. So now we have 3 millimeter wood. And all you have to do on this one, you just have to do both sides. This one you'll have to do the sides, and this one you'll have to do the top. But it's really easy on this short piece. Grab it with your shape tool and just swipe across and get those nodes, left click. I'm doing the male parts because that's all you need to do. You don't have to, we're going to have to do this one, but it's a different animal because of the shape and the size. And I've got an idea for that. So once you have that done, let me go and do one more, and then I will make a part 2. So this one, you're going to get the nodes and use the down arrow key, get the nodes, and use the up arrow key. Now, these two are done. So you're going to make a duplicate. There's your other part, duplicate, other part. And then once you've got, well, let me just do it. If just makes life easier. Because see, you can swipe through there and nudge them over to the left. Swipe through here. Nudge them over to the right. You just want to go in the direction, just think about that you want to make it shorter. And you're done. And then make a copy of this. Let me get rid of that millimeter. And you have your cutouts. And what I would do is, to save wood and everything, then we're going to bring our coffin in. But, instead of spacing them out around there, it's really easy to know which one's which because, this one's got a little smaller tab right here. So it goes in that one with a little smaller tab right there. Anyway, so stay tuned for part 2 because I've got an idea on how to correct this without rotating it. See, on this, we could do the bottom and the top, but we can't. On this one, we're going to have to go the opposite direction because we don't want to change our dimension. So stay tuned for part 2, and I hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.